Hey guys, Crewman here. Carlson with Prim, and with any future project, some new crypto project, you want to get in early. And in order to get in early, most of the time you're going to need to spin up a node. Usually you're going to want to do it on a VM because the software is unproven. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to build a VM PC.
Instead of literally taking old mining hardware, dumping it together, and trying to whip up a VM real fast. So I've been hunting for VM parts. As you guys know from a previous video, I basically bought a full mining farm that handed me everything I needed. So let's go over the build. So the core of the build is going to be a Ryzen 5 3400G. This has 4 cores and 8 threads, which will give me up to 8 virtual machines at once. I doubt I'll use that many, but it gives me the option. And it has an iGPU, and more importantly, I got this thing because it was bent. The pins were really bad. I got it for under 20 bucks. The rest of this build, 64 gigs of RAM. Now I was originally only going to put 16 in, but it came with 64 gigs. This is CL18 2666, so it's not really good for that much else. So I'm going to toss it in. The more RAM, they say the better. It has a 1 terabyte M.2 NVMe in it, and I bought for like $5 a 256 SSD, and I have my Carlson node, which I will toss in here as well. It's got an RM550X power supply. I grabbed a cable from my HX Corsair power supply for this because he didn't have any extras, and they will work. They will be just fine with this. So this is it. We're gonna start putting this all together, and then we're gonna fire it up, and I'm gonna go over what my plan is with this thing. Now, any home lab guys, if you see this and you find something wrong or you find flaws with my strategy, please feel free to leave a comment down below. The CPU is installed. I really recommend using Arctic MX4 thermal paste. It's the best, I think, in the industry. So we're going to go ahead and put way more than I probably should because that's my MO on this thing. So for my cooler, we're literally just going to take a stock Wraith Stealth cooler. I thought about maybe using something better, but it's a 3400G, and honestly, I don't plan on running this thing 24/7. I mean, there'll be times where it'll be on a bit, but it should be off more often than not. So we're just going to go ahead and put that in. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Cooler's in. Way more of a pain than I thought. The cooler was like, one of the screws was dented a little bit. I had to like force it back in. Now we're going to seat the RAM. I feel like 64 gigs of RAM is definitely overkill for this build, but like, I don't know. I could sell the RAM, but it's low CL, and people have been saying that you'll be happier if you have more RAM, especially if you decide to go for like a bigger machine one day, and that way you have it. I don't ever see myself needing like a big one, but like I said, this was free. If I ever don't feel like it's not being utilized properly, maybe I'll consider selling it. So I never built in these old cheapo Cooler Master cases before, but I think I have to screw this off so I can get a place for the SATA drives. Now, I wanted more than one drive just because I wanted to have options in case I had to burn that terabyte drive. So we're going to have two 256s in here, and they're actually going to have different Windows installs on them. So let's go ahead and get that screwed in right now. Well, one will have different Windows install. The one that has the Carlson node, I'm just going to leave it. So I could theoretically have 2 different Windows for whatever. It doesn't make sense to delete that one, so we're just going to incorporate it into this PC. It's not pretty, but it's done. I just kept going. I didn't feel the need to stop every 2 seconds. Basically, all I did was I put 2 SATA drives in, and another cable in here. These are type 3 and type 4 cables generally work together, so I didn't feel uncomfortable about putting that cable in here. I basically just wired up that 250 SSD and then my old Carlson node after I was able to get everything out of it finally. Zip tie this, I don't know yet. I'm probably not going to do anything to it as I just shove everything in. So I'm going to close it up and we'll be good to go.
This is being edited in at a later date, so after having my VM for a few days, I realized that I'm probably going to need way more than a terabyte as I spin up a lot of virtual machines. So what I will be doing is, in the future, adding a PCIe to M.2 adapter, and I can get, another 2, 3 gig, 4 gig, however many gigs I need into this virtual machine PC, which will give me a lot more expandability.
It wasn't quite the build I wanted, but it worked out, and it was cheaper, and I have no complaints about it. So again, the specs are 3400G, so I can get up to 8 VMs simultaneously. B520 motherboard, I don't really care about the motherboard. An RM550X, doesn't matter. A 1 terabyte drive, and two SSDs that are 256 gigs. Now, guys, you can build a virtual machine. My original one was literally a motherboard on a piece of cardboard with a power supply hooked into it, just to make it work on a two-core Celeron, because I needed to generate one real quick. I would recommend, though, having a dedicated VM, because if you're a crypto miner, right now, instead of chasing the dragon, it's chasing the thing that nobody believes in until it's something. And with all of those, there's plenty of risk. So if you can spin up a virtual machine, take 10 seconds, make one, and get one going, you're good to go, while not messing with your other virtual machines either, which is, I think, the key. So, having a dedicated VM box, I think, is really important. Now, my home lab people, you guys know the millions of reasons you need them or you want one. And honestly, it's generally good for most PC enthusiasts to have, because you can spin up a VM, test some software if you're worried about something bad happening. So I'm very happy with this build. Overall, I think you can build a good virtual machine for under $200. If you go to the used market, you can build even less. In terms of actual cash value, it's hard to quantify, but theoretically this thing cost me $20 to $20 to $40. But like I said, I really can't quantify, because a lot of these parts I bought in bundles or for dirt cheap. And the CPU was a $17 CPU that I fixed. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. This was just a quick VM build, but like I said, all crypto miners, you absolutely positively need a virtual machine. So please go ahead and build one. Thank you for watching again. Please like and subscribe. The march to 3,000 is going strong. Crewman out.